Hello, I am your host, Kathy Chester, and welcome to the Move It or Lose It podcast, a podcast about all things that move the mind, body, and soul. The Move It or Lose It podcast is for information, awareness, and inspirational purposes only. I am not a doctor, and I don't even play one on TV, so please consult your doctor before making any medical decisions. The views expressed by advertisers, guests, or contributors are their opinions and not necessarily the views of the Move It or Lose It podcast. Hello, welcome to another day of Move It or Lose It. So, we know what that means. If we're not moving, we are losing our ability to move, to walk. And we don't want that because we don't want atrophy or anything like that. So, my guest today is Ralph Cortese. So, the American, because it's not Italian and we're both Italian. So, Ralph, I loved when I got to be on your podcast. It truly was an honor, and I'm so grateful to have you on mine. So, welcome, welcome, welcome.
I'm grateful for you having me as well. And I need to mention to you that your the interview we did together is in the top five on our YouTube channel.
Woo-hoo! Yeah. All right, I'm gonna actually
Yep,
put that on my YouTube. I'll tell my editor
yeah,
to like my therapy dog is like, I hear you. She can, but she wants to be a part of everything. So don't you?
yeah,
Yes, I know. I there she is. Okay. She's
yep,
on every podcast, every video. She feels the need to be a part of it. So your story just really and I was telling you, I'm coming into the podcast room and I've got this stack of papers and I'm reading, I'm really into, and then they all go flying. I'm like, of course that happens because it's the podcast time. So,
yep,
but it'll always be fun. And I had a great time with you doing it last time. So I have no doubt it'll be the same. So,
yes,
so tell me about, let's go backwards again before we go forward. So
yes.
tell me about your journey, and then we'll talk about you and your wife and all of that stuff. But I want to know about and how you got started with this. Tell me the feeling, the emotions. It's 2015. Anything before that that you had any like inclination or any kind of like stroke issues or weird stuff happening?
That was actually a good time for me. I was a contractor. I had a huge contract remodeling all the cabins and a summer camp.
Okay.
Uh, I had a great week, the week of my stroke. I was in great shape. I was 200 pounds. I was physically doing very well. I mean, and I think I did three porches and two roofs that week.
Nice.
Yeah, it was
You
a
were in
great
great
week.
shape then.
Yeah, on Friday night, I came home and I did my usual sit down and have my iced tea and watch the
Yeah.
news. Fell asleep. And when I got up, it was terrible. I couldn't walk.
Wow.
My head was killing me. Um, I dragged myself I didn't know what was going on. I figured I worked too hard that week.
Which
So,
obviously could
uh,
have felt,
yeah.
you're in the sun a
So
lot.
pardon me?
You're in the sun, it's hot.
Yeah. Yeah, it was great. It
You've
was
got this
awesome. It
great
was in
Italian
Pennsylvania.
tan.
Yeah. In the Poconos, it was an awesome time.
Yeah.
I was in a great place personally or emotionally.
Uh-huh.
But I got hit with this. I didn't know what the heck was happening. So I took some ibuprofen and went to bed. I figured, I'll feel better in the morning.
Yeah.
I mean, my left side was just completely gone. I pretty much,
Really?
I'm
Then
no
that's when you
wall.
went to sleep?
Yeah, yeah, I know, right?
I know I would have done the
Another
same thing. You're the
another thing
oldest
about
though.
it's another thing about raising awareness. I
Yeah.
had no idea I was having a stroke. I woke up the next morning, couldn't walk. I could barely see out of my left eye. So I
Okay.
called an ambulance. Um, they came out and asked me if I needed to go to the hospital. And I said, who the hell wants to go to the hospital? No, I don't want to go. Do I have to? And ready for this. He said, no, you've already had your strokes. And he left.
You're kidding
So,
me.
no, I'm not. I'm not. I swear to you. Um,
Oh, goodness. I don't think I can hear
yeah.
any more stuff about the medical community right now.
Well, yeah, exactly. And that's part of the journey too for both of us, I'm sure.
Yeah. Oh,
Um,
yeah.
but I called an ambulance a couple hours later,
Oh.
and
And
at
say,
that
can I have
point,
a different one? Don't put me with the same guy, please.
yeah, yeah, exactly. But they came out. I crawled around. I had to
Uh-huh.
crawl at the time, but I crawled on my hands and knees and got a bag packed. I went outside, locked my door, and sat on the front stoop, waiting for the ambulance. And they said, "What are you doing out here?" I said, "We're going to the hospital. I'm having a stroke." And they took me. They were pretty angry about the previous
Yeah,
ambulance guys,
I'm
so I
sure.
know they got disciplined that day.
Yeah.
But
Hopefully a little bit more.
yeah, I'm pretty sure they got fired.
Yeah.
But I got in the hospital a half hour away in Scranton, Pennsylvania, and
Okay.
they started calling all these codes and all this other stuff. I didn't know what the heck was going on.
Wow.
And they finally told me you've had a stroke. So I was, I guess, in intensive care 2 days,
Okay.
maybe three. I don't remember much until my daughter came from
Mm.
Arizona to be with me.
Okay.
Um, Luckily, it
Anybody
was
in your family ever had one before?
no,
Okay. So
no,
this was
there was
all
no.
new. You were like, what is this?
Yeah, it was. We there's heart issues in
Wow.
my family, but
Right.
uh, as a matter of fact, even myself, I had ventricular tachycardia in 2001.
Okay.
Died on the table 3 times. I saw the
Jeez.
tunnel and the light. So it was.
Were you going to the light or?
Yeah, I was
Okay.
until I heard my wife and doctor hollering, "Ralph, come back, come back."
Get back, get back. I got chores for you. Get back. I got
Yeah,
honey-do list.
exactly.
It's
So
not
I
done.
I got through that. I mean, that was 9 emergency room visits that year and
Wow.
three
Wow.
catheter ablations. I think they wound up after all three killing 268 points in my heart. But I got over that. And
Yeah.
then the stroke hit me, and it's like,
I love the way
what
you're
the heck?
talking like it's no big deal. Like, got done with that. That was done. Like these
Yeah,
are people in a pretty like terrified state. You're like, got done with that. Now we're moving on.
yeah. Well, and it wound up being pretty good after that because I
Yeah.
had a new lease on life. It's that whole thing of
Yeah.
here I am again. And my wife and I at the time wound up traveling the country for 6 years because she had had
Okay.
heart issues
Okay.
prior. So we wound up traveling the country for 6 years. She was a travel
Wow.
nurse.
Good
It
for
was,
you.
she always said it was the best time of our life.
Yeah. I mean, because she had how many heart attacks did she end up having?
Her first one was in 96, and she wound up
Okay.
with two more um,
You
over the
guys were like
years.
frequent flyers at the hospital.
Yeah,
They're like,
she
hey
was.
guys, how are you?
Yeah. And
We got your
eventually,
favorite stuff for you here.
yeah, she actually wound up passing away in 2019 from
I'm so
pulmonary heart
sorry.
failure.
Wow.
Um, that was, but we did have those 6 years. We did
Yeah.
have 25 years together, which was awesome.
Yeah. What a
Um,
great way to look at it, Ralph. I mean, what a great way where so many could be really bitter about the things that you've gone through. And what a great way to look at it that we had these 6 years that were beautiful. And what a
yeah,
great way to hold on to, the gratitude journal is all big now. And it's like, I've been doing that for 30 years. But,
yeah,
right now with our younger crowd, it's like gratitude, gratitude. But you really had that long before the gratitude journal was a thing. So you have gratitude really truly you really display that in a very beautiful way. I cannot tell you how excited I am to announce my partnership with FootScientific. Their Elevate 360 drop foot solution is amazing. It's lightweight. It has customized sizing, which is amazing. I've been in braces where they are much too big and bulky. This one has memory foam. It's comfortable. I have walked my dog. I have run with it already. I have danced in it, and it is amazing. It has stainless steel anchors, which you can wear them in any shoe you want to. But to be able to have them connect to your laces so that you can lift the foot so that the drop foot isn't so bad and know that they're safe in there is so incredible. to be able to have this, to be able to have it on your ankle and then attach it to a tennis shoe, to attach it to a heel, actually, or a sandal is absolutely amazing. I cannot tell you how excited I am to be a part and partner up with Foot Scientific. They are truly here to meet our needs. So I encourage you to go on to the website at footscientific.com, check them out, and of course, use my discount code. It is MS Disrupted, all caps 30, and you'll get $30 off your pair. And also, don't forget 60-day guarantee. If it doesn't work for you, then you can return it. And that is why I love Foot Scientific. They're a company that truly cares about our needs. So don't forget, check them out. I love my partnership with them. Have a great day.
I kind of had no choice. And that's a lot of us that have a stroke or MS
Yeah,
or anything, any
right.
kind of brain attack. So we
Yeah,
have to make a choice to be a survivor or a warrior.
you
And
bet.
I finally, in the beginning, the stroke recovery was very, I'm going to say poor. My first
Yeah.
therapist was great
Uh,
in Pennsylvania, but then I moved to Colorado Springs. I had one good
okay.
therapist, and then I had therapists that just put me on a bike and walked away,
Yeah.
essentially.
Do you
They
feel
did that.
like it's like the checklist? Like we talked about this before. And a lot of the clients that I get now, they've already done physical therapy or they'll do the physical therapy and then they'll see me. And like I always say, what I do is the after. I wanted to do physical therapy back then, it was saturated and I still wanted to do it. But then the more people that I saw, the more clients I saw, they were like, physical therapy, whatever. I don't know what to do afterwards. And that just really touched my heart. Little did I know there's going to be no money in this after, but that I'd be poor as a church mouse. But it, even though that's the case, there's nothing that is sweeter than having someone say, I stood for the first time in the shower. Like I stood. I didn't just stand for a second and they didn't do click, done. I stood and I felt safe. So that's a very different thing when your muscles and you know where your center is and you're getting stronger. And so I think I relate to you so much in the sense, well, my own body, but in the sense that so many clients get flustered with this like check mark a lot of times that they do in physical therapy. That it's like, okay, you walk, you're done. And so a lot of times I will tell clients, we're going to go backwards. Don't get mad at me. I'm just telling you, I didn't do this. And then now we're going to have to go forward. And so a lot of times what I'll say is sometimes we develop bad brain plasticity in order just to function, in order just to get around. And so now we're going to create some good plasticity. They're like, seriously? I'm like, we have to because we're doing some
Yeah.
things that are really messing up our bodies. Make sense?
Well, and yeah, it makes a lot of sense. And I think one of the frustrations, and everybody I talk to on Stroke Aware Radio has the
Yeah,
same frustration, is we're not told a whole lot of stuff.
right.
Like, this is going to be the hardest thing you've ever done in your life. You're going to have mental health issues.
Yeah,
Your physical therapy is done at 6 months or a year, and they say it's good as it's going to get.
right.
And I was so angry anyway
Yeah,
after the first ambulance driver that, I didn't pay attention. I didn't,
yeah,
and it took me a while to learn. I mean, I was so angry about therapy and not doing stuff at home, which they
right,
didn't tell us we had
right.
to, that I got up to 280 pounds.
Sure.
So there was an issue there too. So it took 6.5 years before I realized there's a difference between a physical therapist for example, workers' comp,
Yeah.
or, those kind of things, and a neurophysical therapist.
Amen.
So once I found that,
Yeah,
it's like you said, I can run. They
yeah,
put me in a water treadmill,
yeah,
and I held on for dear life at 1.5 speed.
yeah,
But it eventually, and it was like uh, when we got up to 2.8, I had to stop or
yeah,
I'd get
yeah.
jerked up
Oh,
again.
yeah,
And I started crying
yeah.
because I never thought I'd run again.
That you do that again. Yeah.
Yeah, and after 6.5 to 7 years,
Yeah.
that's 6 months with a neurophysical therapist.
Yeah.
I got an AFO, I got the water
Yeah.
treadmill. 7 years I was off my cane and walker,
That's
you
so
know.
awesome. I loved hearing
Yeah.
that.
And came again, it was, am I a survivor or am I a
Yeah.
fighter? Am
Right.
I a warrior?
I just did that the other day. I did myths, and that was a big myth that I hated hearing. In 6 months, you're done. Whatever you are after a stroke, you are. And I'm like, big myth that frustrates me like so much because I purposely will show those testimonial or show those people that I'm working with that are years after that are doing things that they did for a second in physical therapy, in month one or month two, and then it was like, all right, done. And they might have done it wrong or right, but and now they're like, I can't do this. And I want to, another one that got me choked up. I want to dance with my wife. He went to a wedding last week and danced with his wife. So something they said he'd never do. And I was like, oh, yes, you will. You're with me and you will. So
Yeah,
I
exactly.
think that hope. And one of the things, and tell me if this relates to you, is, we've got to change our ideas of what it's going to be having those goals. We had goals before these things happen, but changing the goals and having them be something that is challenging but doable. And so that we can, when we reach like little parts and we're getting there, we celebrate them. Tangible
Yes.
goals that we can do. I think a lot of times we focus on the negative. Was that something
I,
that you struggled with?
yeah, and because I think it's partly because we're surrounded by the negative. When you try and do something and you quote unquote fail,
Yeah.
you stop doing it.
Yeah.
But there was some point in time, and I don't know really what triggered it. Oh, I do know what triggered it. I was in some dark moments
Uh-huh.
twice um, during the early recovery, and I looked up on the wall and I saw the picture of my grandchildren, and I said, "Nah, no more." And I
Yeah.
think that was what triggered me to start doing things that I always did.
Yeah.
And no matter how bad it looked, I kept doing it till it became normal.
Yeah. Good for you. That's
Yeah,
inspirational to so many people that will hear this, Val.
I
Is that
hope so because it
what's
can
your
be done.
why? I always say, what's your why? And you just said it. You looked at those grandbabies and you were like, that's my why.
Yeah, yeah, it is. And now, I have 11 grandchildren, and now I have two,
11.
yeah, and now I have two great-grandchildren within the last year.
Wow.
And I'm not
Wow.
old enough for that,
So
but
who's your favorite? No, you don't. You don't. Who's your
no,
favorite? I'm just kidding. I would never do that. It's like
yeah,
asking who's
exactly.
your favorite kid, right? No,
Yeah,
I just have my one new grandbaby, and I'll tell you, I do the same thing. I look at little videos and I'm like, you're my why. You're my why.
God's gift for getting old.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
So you started doing stuff, you started realizing I can do more, I can do this, I'm not going to give up. And then I don't want to go too far ahead. We'll go back and forth because people know I'm like I'm a woman. I'm a spider web. I go all over. And then somehow we bring it in. Um, so how did you know that you wanted to did even advocating because back in the day when when I was diagnosed in almost 2000, there was no advocating. That wasn't even something that we talked about. And we definitely didn't advocate for ourselves. We didn't even understand
Yeah.
that. Um, when did you feel that you could not just disagree with your doctor and do something different, but that you could actually start advocating for yourself in a different way?
Well, I think there was two stages to that. First one was the daily,
Mm,
my daily at 5, 6 years. How am I going to do this? And that was doing things I used to and trying and trying and trying. And recognized, like you said before, those small victories every day.
yeah.
When I could put the walker aside and cook or
Yeah.
they gave me a stool so I can cook
Yeah.
in the kitchen.
Yeah.
I love cooking. So, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm writing an Italian
Wow, I
cookbook.
may come over.
Yeah,
You're
there
writing
you
a
go.
cookbook? I love that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But I think the second stage was when I found other survivors.
Mm.
That's when I
Yeah.
realized that I had to advocate for myself because
Yeah.
they advocated for me. So they helped me inspire
Yeah.
myself. And as a result, we became this family, this community that
Yeah.
every victory was celebrated with all of us.
Yeah.
So, and that became a huge, huge part of my recovery. And I think other people's recovery
Yeah.
because
So now was that a
until,
support group then?
excuse me, at first it wasn't a support group, it was just
Mm.
meeting other stroke survivors that knew
Okay.
what we were going through, you
Sure.
know, or TBI survivors or whatever the brain
Yeah.
attack was. Then it became, then when I started with support groups, it became gigantic. I mean,
Uh-huh.
support groups are amazing.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
I go to a big Zoom one that second or
Uh-huh.
fourth Tuesday of every month still.
Uh-huh.
Um, I started a men's club support
Yeah.
group. Um, we do a caregiver support group. We do
That's
uh,
great.
so there's,
That's important right there. I think it's missed a lot. I don't have a caregiver, but I think it's so important. I've watched that so much, and I've watched caregivers. When I do different podcasts, and the caregiver looks so exhausted, and he or she's not going to say that, and it's so important that someone sees that and says, "This is what we're going to do. What are some of your favorite things?" People come in and I'm going to take care of he or she, and you're going to go to a game. You're going to do this. You're going to go for a massage, and I think that's so important to have done, and it's because the person that is sick, sometimes we can't see past that when we're feeling really
yeah,
crappy. It's not that we don't love and want them to have that, we just can't see past the pain, and I got to get out of this so that I can be me again. And it takes sometimes someone else to help and say, I'm going to take care of the caregiver as well. Introducing the Pulse device. Cutting edge, wearable device, revolutionary, wellness designed to stimulate circulation, reduce harsh pain and tightness, and speed up recovery. The Pulse device uses advanced vibrotactile technology trusted by patients, clinicians, and wellness professionals. Whether you're recovering from an injury, battling a neural condition, or just want to feel the best every day, Pulse helps you recharge so that you can live and feel better. Lightweight, powerful, and easy to use. Experience better performance, better recovery, and a better you. Order now and save $30 using my code MSDisrupted at pulsedevice.com. The Pulse device is your health recharged. You won't be disappointed. Get it now for yourself. I have it. I love it. Go ahead and grab it.
yeah, and I'm with you. I'm single recovery.
Yeah.
I did not have care partners during that time, and didn't understand that part of it. And once I started talking to support groups and support groups that were open to caregivers, you start
Yeah.
to see the big picture.
Yeah.
That there's a lot of communication that's lacking
Yeah.
in the early
Maybe we see it
years.
more because we are single.
Could be. Yeah.
Maybe.
I think that is a good point. Um, but it's something that becomes really important. And then all of a sudden you get hit with, oh my God, I need to share this.
Yeah.
Somebody, I don't want people to go through the angry
Yeah.
5 years and the dark moments that
Right.
I did.
Yeah.
How many people do we lose to suicide because
Right.
of or a brain attack?
Yeah. Yep.
It's
Yes.
way too many. So I
Yeah.
mean, it's sat down and wrote a whole bunch of questions yesterday. Does the brain attack affect personality? Does it affect humor? Does it affect
Yeah.
this? And how do you address that? Well, guess what? There's other people out there that have been through that and can help you address
Yes.
it.
100%. I think that
So
that is in again in like the support groups that I do like a one with another person that is for people that are newly diagnosed, like within the 5 years. And then I do just a women's one. And 100% with you, like the mental health and the depression and stuff like that. But I think that those are great questions. So what do you do with those?
with which the
With the questions
mental
that you
health,
have? Yeah.
I I do research. I have Stroke Warrior Radio, so I'm
Yeah.
fortunate that I've over the last 3 years of having the radio. Um, I've interviewed close to 1,500, 1,800 people.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's teaching me all these things is I ask the questions.
Yeah.
Um, I I think it was, I don't know, maybe 7 years after that I
Uh,
said to myself, the only dumb question is the one you don't ask.
yeah.
So I asked the craziest question. One physical therapist said something to me about what you want to do, finally. Asked me what I wanted.
Yeah.
Um, and I said, I was a contractor. I can't climb a
Yeah.
ladder anymore. She brought a ladder into physical therapy.
Really?
If I didn't say that, she wouldn't have done that.
Right. Right.
So I mean, the only dumb questions are one you don't ask. So I started
Right.
asking more and more questions. I did more research. I talked to more survivors and care partners.
Uh-huh.
Talk to more medical people, therapists. I mean, on the radio, I talk to therapists,
Yeah.
survivors every day.
Yeah.
There's a show every day
I
for
love
this each
that.
of them.
Yeah.
So there's again, it's a community, and that's
Yeah.
what's saved my recovery.
Yeah.
You know,
I love when
but
did you okay, so let's go to the stroke. When did that start and how did it begin?
Stroke Warrior Radio,
Yeah, how did it even start? What was the thinking
I was
behind
at
it?
a I was at a walk and wheelathon for Stroke
Uh,
Awareness Oregon. I got introduced to this guy by um, from Stroke Awareness Oregon, and he said to me, "That voice, you could put me to sleep." And I said, "What? Is that a compliment or what?"
right, I'd be
And
like,
he said, "No, no,
"Hey,
no. That you could be on the radio."
yeah,
And
you have a
about
great radio voice."
Well, thanks. And about 4 minutes after that, he said, "You know what? There's this platform out there that we can do an internet cloud-based radio station,
Uh-huh.
and let's do it for stroke people." So we started doing research, and it took 6 months to build it.
Okay.
But I went on the air May 4th in 2023.
Okay.
Um, and it just worked.
Yeah.
There was a platform to do it. I knew what I wanted. I wanted to communicate all the things they didn't tell me. So that's how I approached it.
Yeah.
I asking the weird questions, asking, what
Yeah.
if, what about cooking? What about
Yeah.
diet? What about
So
sleeping?
when
What
you
about,
asked the questions, so you had someone on each day that you would ask
yes,
them those questions? Okay. So you'd ask like, let's say you're gonna have someone about cooking. Who would you have on about cooking?
I have a variety of people. Number one, I've had a nutritionist.
Cool. Yeah.
Michelle Ruthenstein, she did a
Mhm.
fantastic job. I hope to get her back soon. I talked to another nutritionist, Sarah Kuhn, here in
Yeah.
Bend, Oregon. I started to talk to um, a stroke coordinator
Okay.
that um, is raising awareness and um, education about stroke. And
Yeah.
her and her son came on and did a couple recipe shows.
Oh, I
You
love
know,
that.
Yeah, on fat-free, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
So again, that created more research for me.
Right.
So I'm transitioning to a Mediterranean diet now.
Yeah.
So there's
I do a
It's a
lot of
whole
that.
bunch of steps. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. But I love that you do that. I like we do a lot of the same kind of how we do our podcast. So I do like with patients, and I'll do people who are creating things for us to make life easier. Then if I've got questions that I think, my listeners want, I'll have doctors on to answer some questions, and, doctors that I respect and like. And so I think that that's great. I love how you started that. So now that it's been on for a while and it's kind of forming into things that you want, where do you see it kind of going now?
Yeah. Um, I think we're expanding into the radio itself is an internet cloud-based radio station.
Mhm.
So what it is 8 hours or 12 hours a day.
Uh-huh.
Every hour and in between's music. But certain time of day is therapists, certain time of day is survivors, certain time is care partners, certain times DME. There's one area that I was angry about that I didn't find out about an AFO until 7 years. Nobody told me,
Wow.
ever suggested. Once I had that, my life changed.
Now
So
for
I
you, what does an AFO
decided,
look like? Is it like the tall one? Is it like the
yeah, I
shorter
had the
one?
tall one that went up just below my knee and
Uh-huh.
down towards the left side and in my shoe. Um, but that's one of those things I didn't know in the beginning. I don't want other people to know.
Yeah.
So I brought on DME people and I brought on equipment
Yeah.
manufacturers and I'm still doing that today. I
Yeah.
mean, we've got several good people
Oh yeah.
on shoes, on
Yeah.
a unit to get in and out of bed and
Yeah.
showers, there's all kinds
Yeah.
of things available.
Absolutely.
I think it's expanding. We're listened to in 55 countries,
Hmm.
but now we've expanded to YouTube. We're going to start doing live shows and live podcasts in January.
That's
We're
awesome.
going to start to do panel shows. Um, we've got 4 collaboration shows.
That's
My stroke,
great.
yeah, like Stacy Quinn with My Stroke of Hope. We
Okay.
do a joint show on different things. There's
Okay.
another speech therapist
Okay.
that we're doing speech shows. So I just see it expanding. I'm
Yeah.
dying for the day I can do it full time, because I
Yeah.
also work. I work a regular job.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it's amazing how
You're
much,
in the same as I am, where I do
yeah,
this and I'm like, I want to do more of this. And I still want my clients, but I'm trying to figure out, how to do it all
yeah,
in one. But I
yeah,
do really like doing the podcast a lot. I think it's very helpful, and I wish I want to do more of that. And so that's kind of where I'm leading myself, and then to just have more of like, well, I'll talk to you about it later. This is me interviewing you. So
yeah.
so the radio show is doing well, but I love that you've got lots of ideas for it. You're not coming down. You're not kind of like, okay, we're gonna just kind of wind it down. You're moving up. You just keep going. So I
Oh
love
yeah,
that. So
yeah.
what do
And
your
it's
kids think about what you're doing?
I was talking to my daughter just
Yeah.
3 days ago, and she said, "Dad, I've been watching your YouTubes and your shorts on your social medias, and I gotta tell you, I'm proud of you." And
Isn't that the
it,
best?
yeah, it really is. My other daughter told me when I saw her for the first time after so many years, she said, "Dad, you're better than you were before your stroke."
Oh, I
So
love
it's like,
that.
it's just amazing how it's
Yeah.
developing. And I think the reason I keep going is because I've heard so many positive feedback from people
Yeah.
that said, "Thank you.
Yes.
Um, I appreciate what you're doing. Can
Yeah.
I do more to help?" Those kind of things.
Yeah.
Um, so it's something that's worthwhile. I mean,
Yeah.
55 countries,
Yeah.
every
That's
week it's like,
awesome.
oh my God, I got Israel. Oh my God, it's
Yeah.
Palestine. Or
So
it's,
how did with the radio, like, we all have different ways, different that we air a podcast. The guy asked you to do the radio. Um, and then you just started doing that and it aired on different was there already things going on in that radio program? And you were a
No,
part of that? Okay, so this was just a one that you were gonna
this
start.
this started completely from scratch. Um, and I was told by the server company that runs the radio
Uh-huh.
platform that this was the only stroke radio in the world.
Yeah,
So
because 'cause I've
that was
never
it.
seen one. So,
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I know stroke TV's out there.
yeah,
That's Aaron Avia, but there's it was just so exciting for me to realize that, you know what, somebody's not going to have to be so angry as I
yeah,
was.
yeah,
So I keep doing it,
yeah,
and I think there's a place out there. One of my
yeah.
friends, for example, one of her dreams is to fill up Yankee Stadium with a stroke convention.
Oh, I
You know,
love that. I love
yeah,
that.
isn't that a cool idea? So I
Yes.
mean, there's other organizations out there, and we
Yep.
need to get. I want to be the search engine for stroke and TBI
Yeah.
survivors.
I've got an
Uh,
idea for I'll tell you after when we're done with
good,
this
good.
for the stadium.
Uh,
I'm writing that down because my memory is about 30 seconds
yeah,
sometimes, but I'm gonna
yeah, and
write that
that's one
down.
of the things we still go through, and that's
Yeah.
something that I have to recognize because sometimes I'm terrible at following up. I miss appointments,
Right.
those kind of things because of the cognitive issues.
Yeah,
But
for
you know what?
sure.
Nobody told me, for example, talking about that, nobody told me that occupational therapists have mental health training as well and
Yes.
can help with those issues.
Right. Right.
Uh, that was just a year ago,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Um, so I found out that one of the things she did for me was put me on a date book again.
Yeah.
Everything's in you know,
Yeah.
a time saver,
Yeah.
time day timer type thing.
Yeah.
You
And I
know,
think too with a lot of a lot of that is that, it helps us too. I think like having it helps us to do better with people. Like a lot of times, like if I said this before to you, like if I was going to train you and we're going to work and you looked like you were just feeling hopeless, I would say, okay, hold up. Let's do some breathing.
yeah,
Let's breathe a little. And I think that's so important to have a therapist or someone that you work with physically that knows you or that has some of the same things so they can say, okay, we're not going to grow some brain plasticity today if you're here and we're going to try to do this. So I think that's is such a big piece. And what you're saying is that the therapists, the people that you're working with now get it and so they're
yeah,
helping you do things that are like, okay, yeah, I've got to write this down. Because cognitively, people don't always get that when we have a brain injury or something happens, cognitively for all of us, sometimes worse than others, there are things that are just slipping by. And
yeah.
it's not the same for our neighbor who's like, I know what you're saying. You're like, Not really. You
No, you
don't.
don't.
You really don't. It's not the same thing." Or I'm
Well,
so tired. And it's like, not really, not the same.
yeah, there's things that we all didn't know that we should have known.
Yeah.
We didn't know about the brain fatigue.
Right.
We didn't know about the sleep fatigue. We didn't
Yeah.
know, all those little things. In my mind, when I started, I had a physical therapist and an occupational therapist that helped me
Yeah.
with my handwriting.
Right.
It was like, but it was years later before I found there's like 12 therapies that we need.
Right. Yeah.
Physical, occupational speech. I didn't get a speech therapist till 7 years.
Yeah. I would say
Um,
there's 12 is that we need. 12 is
I mean,
IST. Like
yeah,
10 to 12 is that we need.
yeah, there's massage therapy, there's chiropractor, there's acupuncture.
And why is
Okay,
not massage not covered?
exact. Well, my
Why am
massage
I
is
not
covered.
covered? Mine is
Mine's
not.
covered as physical therapy. I don't know how they did it, but it's
I don't
physical
know.
therapy.
I'm gonna look at your insurance.
Yeah, exactly. And there's just we just have to tell other people what's
Yeah.
going on
Yeah, for
so that
sure.
they don't have to sit in front of that bottle of
Exactly.
adrenaline.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a big, you and I are right on the same page, is that just again, knowledge is power. And if you
exactly.
have it, then you understand how to do now, okay, you've got it, but now we've got to say write it down in your notes because you're gonna forget it. You're gonna have it right now, then we're gonna end it and you're gonna be like, what they say was so good. So,
Yeah,
1, it's on the podcast, so you can see it again. But 2, get used to putting it, whether it's in your notes, on the phone, whatever works for you. If it's hard to write down, then that's why we've got, AI and things like that. So we don't have to always, do that. So because those are important, because you're giving a lot of important things. And when we have, podcasts, we have things like that. I think it's super crucial to know that we don't always have to remember everything. There's because you get that nervousness, like I'm gonna forget,
yeah.
and breathe and think, oh yeah, I can jot this down. This doesn't have to be. I have to remember it all. Or do you feel this too? I know a lot of clients will tell me, um, I'm really nerved up because, they're not being patient with me. And I say, and I wonder if you say this, you just tell them, this is what I'm dealing with. I need you to slow down because I need to get this down. I'm in my phone. So would you please slow down? And I'm going to put this in. Sometimes it
Yeah,
works.
that is another step in the whole process, I think,
Hmm.
is that you have to assert yourself in those situations that cause you consternation.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, okay, am I just going to ignore the way they're pushing me or
Right.
judging me or whatever?
Right.
One of the things I learned going on the doing these videos is I have tardive dyskinesia from a past
Yeah.
mixed misdiagnosed
Tell
thing.
people that don't know what that is. They'll be
Tardive
looking up that word.
dyskinesia is weird movements that you get because of some of the prescriptions you take. I don't know if I've had people tell me I have weird movements in my mouth that I can't control.
Mhm.
But, and I've always been embarrassed by it. But once I started doing this, it's like, it's on there, it's on the video,
Right.
tough.
Yep.
Get over it. It is something that
Yeah.
developed because of a bad diagnosis, but it's what I've got.
I
But
haven't
it's,
seen it if it makes you feel better.
yeah. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I feel it, and
Yeah.
I'm getting through the process of recognizing that these things that may upset me or these people that may upset me shouldn't be upsetting me. I mean, I
Right.
can only
Right.
control my actions and reactions, not theirs.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
I think I just do what I do, and if it doesn't work,
Yeah.
it doesn't work. Maybe it'll work next time.
Yeah.
But
I love that. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of the Move It or Lose It podcast. It would mean the world to me if you subscribed and left a review. Remember, you can find me on Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, and YouTube. New episodes of the Move It or Lose It podcast air every other Wednesday. If you have any suggestions for future guests or topics, please visit my website at www.msdisrupted.com. Until next time.